Webcomics.
Ah, man, this movie had it all. It
Webcomic.
had action, drama, comedy, suspense, and dance. It's on cinema and off
Webcomics.
cinema. With me,
Webcomics.
your host,
Declan
Declan.
Garrity. Okay. Hey, guys. This is Declan Garrity. Welcome to again on Webcomics in the Webcomics, where we review webcomics and show you what you should read and what you should pass up because God, it's garbage, worthy of a skip. This week, I'm proud to announce that I have my guest host with me, Shawn McElwain. Shawn
Hey
McKilwain.
guys, I'm ready to provide my insight.
Uh, yeah. Um, first up, we have a special segment later. That's not important right now. The first webcomic we have going for this is Monsters Pulse. It's at the URL. That's at the URL monster slash dash pulse.com. I'm gonna give today's strip a little read. Shawn, why don't you tells us a little bit about what you thought about Monsters Pulse?
Well, Declan, I thought it was a very dialogue-heavy comic. It's inked beautifully. I believe it's done analog, if I know Magnolia's work.
Yeah, Photoshop.
Yeah, I mean, it's done traditionally, and she touches it up later on with some sort of digital program. We don't know if it's Photoshop or not, but
I
she
mean,
seems to be sticking with that.
I've seen the people do a lot of digital work. I'm into a lot of digital web comics, and they always talk about, they get to ask like, hey, how did you make the comic? And they're like, Photoshops.
Yeah, but mostly she's sticking with the tried and true traditional method for making comics, which, that's it's always smiled upon in the comics making community.
Well, it's easy to yeah, it's easy to replicate that stuff these days with this digital. I tell you, it just wigs me out. A little bit about Monsters Pulse. It is a a young adult-friendly webcomic written and drawn by Meg Magna Magnum Magnolia Portum. It updates
Magnolia,
on
Magnolia.
uh, Monsters Pulse updates on Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays. I'm gonna check out the latest strip real quick to just get my opinion on today's. It's loading kind of slow. I think I might take a. All right. Um,
Sometimes the bandwidth gets kind of, the wires get tangled.
uh, it's Wi-Fi. Well, today's comic
Well, it's the same sort of thing, though.
didn't really involve any monsters, which I think is a misstep. You need to have if you have unique visitors, you either need to direct them to a monsters page or just not go with these boring old ones. I give I think it's got a lot of heart. Magnolia's she's clearly very inspired by Digimon, which is it's a thing from my youth that I would appreciate, and I think she gives it the proper treatment. I, and the kids, I really relate to the kids. I give this five Wacom tablets, and I give it hold on, and then I give it um two sketch pads. I give it two sketch pads.
Now, because of the amount of dialogue, it's not for everyone, but I think it's really on its way. I personally love that it's going somewhere.
Mm,
So
yeah.
I'm going to give it 5 Wacom's and 3 sketch pads.
All right.
And maybe a drawing of a scary monster on one of the Wacom's.
What? Okay. We'll do with something about that later. The next comic is Chainsaw Suit by Chris Straub. Love this. It's got some real star power for it. Chris Straub has a lot of old webcomics under his belt. He's really used to this whole scene. Works with Scott Kurtz, very funny guys. I just cannot get enough of it. I love it. I hope Chris sees this and maybe he shoots me an email. Chainsaw Suit updates about every day with really silly ideas. I got a strip loaded up here. Shawn, what did you think?
The material of the comic is what jumps out at you the most. Mr. Straub really knows how to make each panel pop, and his punchlines sometimes have me laughing for hours after I've finished reading.
Yeah.
He's getting really big these days.
Tiny Turtle
so I wouldn't be
plays for a job.
surprised to see
Next.
this hitting the
Oh, it's me.
for
It's
funny
me.
time soon.
Open
Open up your newspaper, see Chainsaw Suit right there under Sally Forth.
I was just reading today's strip. Chris Straub has he's got a lot of humor in him. It's really applicable. I like it a lot. Remember to check out Chainsaw Suit for all your funny jokes you might not entirely get. I give it 5 Wacom's and 1 sketchpad.
I personally will upfront and give it 5 Wacom's, and I think it deserves a little more, so I'm going to give it 1 Sharpie permanent marker, because it looks like it was made with a real Sharpie, and not one of those rip-off brands like Sharzy, where the logo looks like Sharpie, but it's a significantly worse product.
Okay. We'll have to see about that. I'd like to just take a mid-show break to talk about a fan of ours. We appreciate the fans here at on Webcomics in the Webcomics. Alfred Virgil. He's a fan of ours that likes to write in a lot to say that we're doing a nice job. So thank you, Alan.
I think Declan, he might actually be our first fan that we ever had.
Oh wow.
From the very get-go, I saw his letters coming in.
Yeah, from the get-go.
I just can't tell you how much I love reading the fan mail, especially from someone so dedicated to webcomics like we are, and really appreciates the show.
Yeah, he loves those webcomics. Can't get enough of them. Just like us. Just like we're gonna go. Here we go. Not getting enough webcomics, so we're gonna go straight into Gun Show now. Personally, I think not a fan. I think Gun Show is kind of little bit of garbage. It's by I only checked it out recently. I hadn't entirely heard of it, but it was recommended to us. It's Gun Show by Gun Show by Kick Green. What?
Casey.
By Casey Green. There's just
Casey Green.
There's a KC here, like that's just letters. That's not the name Casey.
Well, it's like an abbreviation.
Yeah.
Casey Green.
Gun Show comic. It's at www.gunshowcomic.com/728. That's the strip I'm on right now. It's It's probably the only one worth checking out because you probably don't want to check out this comic. It's got daily gags. Wait, hold on. When does it update? All right, I can't find that easily. Gun show. It's got some funny. That's immature. There's a drawing of a butt here. Not a fan. I'm not a fan. So, what did you think, Shawn, of Gun Show?
When I first started reading Gun Show, I didn't think I'd love it as much as I do, but sometimes the punchlines do go a little far for me, though. But overall, I think the way it's colored and written is pretty good. But because of the risky humor, it does lose a tablet for me. But it's still
lose a tablet?
4 Wacom tablets. So. And one old-style color television set, because it reminds me of cartoons of back in the day, and you'll probably want to go back and take a look at those after reading a few strips of this comic. Just turn them on the tube.
Okay. I give this. I just give it 4 Wacom tablets. Well, I'm not a big fan. I don't think it's so great. So now, Mr. Shawn McIlwain had a segment for us on the show it's called what's it called?
Comics Classics.
It's called Comics Classics. Comics. Doesn't say popcorn. Okay. So what do you?
All right.
What you got there?
Well, today I brought in a real classic. It's a peanut strip from 1966 by the great Charles Schulz.
Oh, one of those old webcomics.
Who some people lovingly refer to as the father of comics themselves, which he really is when you think about it. I saw a great documentary about it the other day, and it's really amazing how much he's contributed to the industry. So here in the first panel, you can see Sally.
All right, let's check this out.
Doing what she always does and sort of insulting Charlie Brown with schoolyard insults.
Yeah.
And then in the third panel, you can see that she can't quite express herself because she secretly doesn't hate Charlie Brown as much as she seems to. With her being mean, it's just a big front, you know.
Yeah.
So she says something like "smarty boots," which she doesn't think about. And then you see in the last panel Charlie Brown, always being the very introspective kind of person that is.
I've never seen one of these before. This is the Peanuts webcomic?
Yes, by Charles Schulz.
By Charlie Schulz. Well, I gotta remember to check that out. Yeah. Yeah.
So in the last panel, he's being very introspective, and wonders at the criticism. And I think it's such a quintessential panel, and it's a quintessential comic, and it really sums up both of the characters of Sally and Charlie Brown perfectly. Even though he only says one word, you learn so much about his character by him questioning the insult that is thrown at him by this girl who is, sometimes sort of being mean, but not really meaning what she says.
Yeah. Thank you, Greg. Shawn McIlwain for that classic segment.
You're welcome, Tim.
Now, so for reflecting back, Monster Pulse, that got five star Wacoms from me and 2 sketchbooks. Chainsaw Suit which got 1 sketchbook and 5 Wacom, but I want to give him all the Wacom so he can keep drawing this in Photoshop. And the gun show comic wasn't very good. I gave it only 4. I gave 4 Wacoms.
And I give Monster Pulse 5 Wacoms and 3 sketch pads. And Chainsaw Suit 5 bags of Wacoms and 1 Sharpie. And for Gun Show 4 Wacoms and an old television set.
All right. So thank you for being my guest again, Shawn McIlwain. It was appreciated.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah. So. All right. We done. We're gone. Yeah. Just sent. I don't know. Just call me.